Hello, this is Isabel, and today I am back with an envelope journal or album. I will be making two signatures and the covers bound with binding rings. It can become thick pretty quick once you start adding pictures or journaling tags. You'll see in a minute. I will start with showing you some measurements of an album I did a long time ago. I'm showing you, but I did not want to do the video showing with these dimensions. I'm using recycled envelopes for today's video, so I really want to show you how to do them based on the envelopes that you use. We all have tons of envelopes, so if you know the general idea of how to make this one, you should be able to size them according to what you have. I did not come up with this idea. I saw it a long time ago, but I have no idea who it was. I'm going to show you how to put it together with these envelopes. I believe they are number 10 envelopes. Watch it first because it is a little bit confusing the first time around. You're using 2.5 envelopes, 2 complete and 1 half. The half will be what holds the 2 complete envelopes and will serve as the spine. The half will already have an opening from the cut. The other 2 you will cut at both ends. One envelope you will butt up to the top of the half envelope. I'm gluing this down completely just for demonstration. Please don't do this until you see me actually work with the envelopes. Then you turn it over and glue butting up the bottom ends. So here is the middle one that will serve as the spine. The first one is aligned to the top. There's the pocket for the half envelope. Then when you turn it around, you have the pocket at the top and the bottom. This right here will be the binding. Okay, so for this one, you will glue after you have glued your decorative paper. Then you glue and place decorative paper on the small flap, which will become a pocket. The same thing for this side. You will also glue your decorative paper, then glue the flap. Decorate the flap, which will also become a pocket. So here I have a bunch of recycled envelopes from junk mail or bills. I bought some on clearance and some at Michael's at the dollar section a long time ago. They are all different sizes. I placed mine in piles to find similar sizes. It makes it easier when you are gluing the envelopes. As you can tell, I have a lot that are similar. So what we are going to do is something like this. This is from this album that was ring bound. It is made from number 10 envelopes also. It was made a long time ago. So these are the pockets. Most of the tags have pictures. Like I said, this was made a long time ago. I usually date my work, but I can't find it now. Oh, there it is. It was made in 2010, so long ago. It's very cute because it holds a lot of tags and memories. So much room for pictures or journaling. These are the reasons for my paper crafting. How many tags can this hold? 5 tags that you can journal or place photos. Okay, so now I'm going to make one from start to finish. Make sure that all your envelopes are similar sizes. It does not matter what size envelope you use. They can be large, thin, or small. You can adjust where you fold. For this one, I only made 3 pages. Just keep in mind that you need enough envelopes to work with. So I'm choosing this envelope for the spine and these 2 envelopes. I'm sure you'll notice that not all 3 are the same size. I plan on using 2 binding rings, so I need the journal to be short and not tall like my old example. I get my envelope that will serve as my spine. I need to leave enough space for it. I'm going to leave 1/2 inch. Let's seal the envelopes completely. Then cut the ends so that they are open. Both envelopes are now open on both ends. Leaving your 1/2 inch alone, you will glue the envelope up to the 1/2 inch line. Don't use a lot of glue, just enough to hold in place. However long you want to hang at the bottom is how much you fold. It does not matter how much it hangs. It's just preference. Now turn it over and place the envelope up against the 1/2 inch spine line matching the other side. Use some glue to hold in place. Now fold the bottom to even up the envelope to the other side. Glue the flap lightly to hold the fold for now. So now I need to cut off the excess of the middle envelope, making sure not to cut the side of the back envelope. So that is saved for the other page. This is my spine. Here's one pocket, another pocket, middle pocket, turn it around, a pocket, and the last pocket, for a total of 5 pockets. I am now going to use pattern paper to decorate my envelopes. I am going to cut this paper enough to cover the envelope. I will be placing marks because I hate to measure. I place the paper to know how much I will need to cut. I'm really cheap, so I want to use only the paper that I need to cover the envelope. I hate wasting paper. It's up to you. You can measure and cover the whole space. Before placing the paper, I will ink the edges and then glue down. So now I can glue the flap permanently. That's why I told you to lightly glue before. We had to glue the pattern paper first. I punch a half circle to easily see your pocket. Now I am going to place the pattern paper on the bottom fold, which will be your other pocket. Make sure you place enough glue on the flap. So you can tell that the recycled print is showing, so I am going to cover that up. That's why you lightly glued everything in place, or else you'd be tearing at the envelopes. You don't need a lot of paper to cover this part. You're just hiding the print. Use enough glue so the paper doesn't come off. Once you glue the paper, you glue the envelope to the envelope. Glue the whole envelope so that there's no opening where there shouldn't be. Everything should be snug. I'm going to cut a half circle on that pocket. Now on to the other side. We will be doing the same thing. Cut enough paper to hide the recycled envelope, remembering that the flap will cover some of it. Remember, be like me, cheap and don't waste paper. I inked the edges and glued down completely. Now glue down the flap completely also. Decorate that also. Now I'm going to punch the half circle on the top and bottom pocket. I was unable to punch the bottom pocket because it was too shallow. That's fine, everything is looking good so far. Now I need to cover that part up here. Notice how you can keep using the scraps, especially if your paper is double-sided. I just tuck it under and glue. Again, that's why I kept saying to lightly glue in the beginning to allow for this. Now you're able to see the pockets better. Now that everything is glued down and decorated, we do need to glue all the envelopes down once we are done decorating. Now on to the tags. You will definitely be able to make 5 tags, but you can really make more. This is an old stamped image I colored some time ago. I'm checking to see what size my tags should be. I do not measure, so paper crafting usually takes me more than the average person. That's okay as long as I'm not getting frustrated and enjoying the process. I will glue the stamped image on one side and will leave the other side blank for some journaling. The next tag I just cut pretty paper to size. I don't need to do anything to this one because the paper is already so pretty with butterflies. The other side will be blank for some journaling. I reach for my file folder template so I can make some tabs for the top of my tags. This is a really old template from a company that is probably not even around anymore. What do you think? I wondered about why these companies are no longer around. Do people paper craft less or what? I'm not sure. I know it can be an expensive hobby. Anyway, I find a tab I like and cut and glue on my tag. Now I will be working on the middle pocket. I have this old tag I made that I didn't end up using. I just need to cut to size. Remember about the ½ inch space that is there for the spine. Now onto the back pockets. For this one I glued 2 papers to each other and made a tab for it. For the top tag it will be the longest of the tags. I glued 2 papers onto each other and make it a tab also. I cut some off because it's too long. Now all the pockets have their own tags. I noticed that I need to make a tab for the middle pocket because it's getting lost in there. You can barely see it's there. For consistency, I go back and make tabs for all the tags. So I'm now working on the second page. Same thing. We should now have the hang of it. Once you understand the idea of the construction, you can now do this for any sized envelope. That's what we want. We want to be able to apply this to any sized envelope. Don't tie yourself down with exact measurements. Use the leftover middle envelope. Glue the second envelope to the top of the middle envelope. Fold the envelope to match the first page. Cut the excess off of the middle envelope. This time, now that you know what it looks like, I will be decorating along the way. Same thing, you're just covering up the recycled envelope and making it look pretty. These make great gifts for anyone to place pictures in, even if they don't like to write memories down, especially if it's all done and ready. Some people don't have the supplies to make their own tags. Remember, you're making sure that all the envelopes are glued down completely, or else it will be difficult to place the tags where they belong. So one side is done, so let's turn it over and glue the third envelope. Make sure the envelopes are the same size. I'm noticing with this third one is too wide. It has to match so that there is no overhang. So align to match the first page on both the top and bottom part of the envelope. I will have to cover up the spine on this one since you can see the print. Onto the tags, I use a second generation stamping that I did on a scrap from another project. Like I said, I hate waste, so I usually stamp off my ink on a scrap for later use. I will be gluing it to a book page with a graph. I want the graph to show. I cut it to size. I then layer some scraps along with a stamped image. To remain consistent, I make tabs for all the tags on this page also. For the middle pocket, I use a recycled envelope I made a long time ago using a book page. I like the title, I'll Never Understand My Wife. I'm almost done. I use a tag I made some time ago, which is a sunflower in the mason jar. I now am making the large tag for the next pocket. I also just glued 2 papers together. I stamped this beautiful collage image on the craft side. It is such a nice stamp. For one thing, it's a huge stamp. So here are my 2 pages. Each pocket has a tag. I decide on cardboard for my covers. I cut these a couple of months ago. I did a cardboard album if you're interested in watching. Whatever binding you decide on, be sure to remove the tags from the middle envelopes. You might end up binding them by accident. I will be punching 2 holes for my binding rings. Again, I don't measure, so I just approximate where I want the holes. I will be using this punch, not sure of its name, but I love it. I then place a page on my covers and mark where the holes will be. I want my pages to line up to the bottom of the covers. So now I just insert the binding rings through all the pages and cover, and there it is. Place your tags back to their place. That's it. I just need to decorate my cover. I did not film the cover or else this video will take too long. It looks a little busy now that I look at it a couple of days later. There's too much going on, but it's for me, so I'm okay with it. So let's look at the finished journal. I placed pattern paper on the inside cover. I included this watercolor tag I made in a coloring challenge. Since it had an opening, I included one of my past video projects. Here's the first page with the tags I made. I added some past stamping images on some of them. This is a tag I also made for a challenge. So that one page can hold 5 tags. You can of course make more than that. It just depends on how bulky you want your journal. I included a mandala I drew some time ago on the inside of the back cover. That's it. You can have as many pages as you want. I thank you so much for watching. Please leave me a comment so I know I wasn't talking to myself. And if you have a question, please let me know. I will try to answer it if I can. Bye.